If you have ever needed or wanted to replace your factory turn signals or side marker lights on your Jeep, there is a way to do that, and it's actually not as difficult as you might think. So today, I'm going to show you all how to get it done. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Joey. Today I'm going to be replacing my halogen turn signals and side marker lights for a brand new set of LED lights. Ever since I replaced my headlights and fog lights to LEDs, the old turn signals just look too dim and they don't really fit the rest of the look that I'm going for. So I'm going to be swapping these out today, and I figured I would make a video to show you guys how to do it if you ever need or want to change them out yourself. All right, so step one, the first thing I'm gonna do is replace the side marker lights here. What I wanna do is peel back the inner lining a little bit so that I can get in between the fender and the lining to be able to pull out the whole assembly. So there is a 10mm bolt right here that I'm gonna remove. All right, so with that bolt removed, the next thing I wanna do is remove these plastic clips here. Now these are going to be slightly difficult to get off. There is a little center piece in the middle. What you're going to want to do is take a small screwdriver or Torx bit, and you want to jam that in there. Probably I'm going to be using a hammer so that I can go ahead and punch that piece out. Okay, so now that this clip is loose on the fender, I can actually peel back the liner a little bit and then kind of maneuver the fender out of the way. You're gonna twist the bulb counterclockwise, gently pull it out off to the side there. You can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is a little gap between the inner fender and the outer fender, the painted part. So I'm just going to kind of peel this back a little bit and gently slide out the side marker light. All right, there we go. Okay, you'll notice comparing these side by side that the new bulb does have quite a thick connector here compared to the old one, and this is what I got hung up on the last time to protect the light housing. I'm gonna just keep the plastic on. Also, I didn't realize this before, but make sure if you are going to be installing and replacing the side marker lights, that you find out which one is right and left. Luckily, these ones are labeled, but the easiest way you can tell is by comparing it to the old one here. The top bracket up here should be on the left side, not the right side. On the other side of the Jeep, the bracket is over here, so just be mindful of which side that you're putting these on. Now once the light is situated up into the fender again, I went ahead and peeled off the plastic. It's a good idea to leave that on just so that it doesn't get scratched when you're assembling it. Once the light is situated, I can go ahead and pop in the plastic clip. And then I can go ahead and reinstall that 10mm bolt that was on the inside here. Now moving on to the other side here, I'm going to do the same thing, just remove this bolt. Alright, once I removed that bolt, I actually did already remove the plastic clip here. This side was a little bit easier to get at, so now I'm just going to peel back the fender lining just a little bit. And then same thing on this side, I'm just going to twist the bulb counterclockwise so I can remove that, and then make sure that I push down and out for the top clip here so that I can release the side marker light. Woo! All right. Again, you'll notice that if You want to make sure that these clips on the top here are matching. They're on the same side, which is good. So I'm going to go ahead and insert this one. Make sure that this wire goes in the side marker hole before getting the light in, because once the light is in, you don't want to pinch this wire. So make sure that is up there first. So now that this side marker light is in place, I can go ahead and reinstall the plastic clip down here. I'm just gonna leave these wires loose, and then once I get the turn signals wired up, I'll go ahead and wire these all up at the same time. But this side is done. Let's go ahead and take the grill off so that we can get to the turn signals. So now with the grill completely removed, I have to take off the turn signal assembly, which is built into the grill here. And it's actually fairly simple to remove. All you have to do is push down on these two clips here, which are holding the assembly in place. So once these are out, I'm gonna go ahead and pop the new one in place. These also are labeled left and right, so be mindful of which one goes in which location. So this is the left one. I want to be putting the right one on here. Make sure that the wire here is up before you get the turn signal in, and then all you have to do is just snap that in place. You can go ahead and remove the plastic here, pop the new one in place. So now I'm gonna set the grill aside because I have to actually remove the old bulbs. So let's go ahead and do that. So in order to get the old bulbs, what I'm gonna do is pull this little tab here. It locks the bulb in place. I'm gonna pull it up, and then I'm just going to push down on the clip above and then remove the bulb. It's as easy as that. Same thing on the other side. Just go ahead and pull this little locking tab up. Push in the clip until you hear it snap, and then just go ahead and remove the bulb. Now in order to get these side marker bulbs out, again, it's going to be pretty simple, same as the turn signals. There's just a little clip here, and you're gonna push in on. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and take this end and plug it up inside of the new side marker. So the clip side is going to be facing down, and then you can go ahead and pop that in place. All right, now I already wired up the other side, but I just wanted to show you all how I'm going to wire up the turn signal and the side marker light using the factory wiring harness here. On these older JK models with the halogen bulbs, you are going to have to pick up a set of load equalizers to splice into the factory wiring harness. That way the computer doesn't think that the light bulb is burnt out. So you can pick these up at a AutoZone store, but it comes in a pack of 2. And so what you're going to want to do is take one of these ends and tie it into the positive live wire, and then the other end is going to tap into the ground wire. So I've already identified the right end wire here as the live, and obviously the black is going to be the ground. So what I'm going to do is tap one end up here to the ground, and then the other end back here to the live. But it doesn't matter which order you do it in, you can do it either way, and there's no specific direction this needs to go either. This is the wiring that the lights come with. Now it does have a connector on one side, so this splits off into 2 pieces. So what I'm going to do is actually splice these wires, because I don't want the daytime light to be visible. I just want to keep it black. So I'm actually going to connect this to the side marker light, and then I'm going to run this wire to the turn signal so that the side marker lights can still be turn signals, but it's not going to show the daytime running light. It's just going to stay amber. And then I'm going to cut this right at the junction here. I'm going to splice it here, and then I'm going to splice this into the wiring harness. So the next thing I'm going to do is just run this wire here, tuck it behind the grill. I'm going to pull this all the way through, and I'm going to connect that end later. Alright, now once all of the wires have been spliced and connected together, I went ahead and made sure that all of the connections where the wires tap into are taped with electrical tape, so I can go ahead and tuck this back in here. Alright, now that the wires are tucked back into place, I'm going to take a little extra tape here and just secure the protective tubing here. Now I also want to make sure that I tuck the load equalizer somewhere safe. These do conduct heat, so I don't want to set it against any plastic where it's going to melt the plastic. So I'm actually going to rest it right in this little pocket here. This is metal, so it'll be good and it'll sit nicely down there. That way I can still go ahead and plug in the turn signals. The side marker lights can also function as turn signals, but in order to do that, I went ahead and that white wire that I spliced into the live wire on the turn signal, I went ahead and kind of wrapped it. I don't know if you can see, I kind of wrapped it around the side marker light tubing, and then I have it loosely clipped. Now I do also want to make sure that I put electrical tape around this so that it doesn't corrode and no moisture gets up in there as well. This is the wire for the daytime running light, so these turn signals can actually turn white, but I'm actually not going to plug these in because when this wire is not plugged in, the lights just stay black when the parking lights are on. So when I turn on the parking lights, the halos on the headlights and the fog lights turn on, and I don't want the turn signal daytime running light to turn on. I want that to stay black. If I were to wire this up, I would wire this to the middle wire here, which is the daytime running light. Alright, here is the side marker lights. You can tell they are pretty bright, significantly brighter than the old halogen ones. Alright, now you can see here the left turn signal is on. There is a pretty cool effect when the turn signal engages. Kind of flashes outward like that. An interesting thing to note that when the parking lights are on and the turn signal is on, both of them are amber lights. Now when I go ahead and turn off the parking lights, the turn signal on the side marker light is actually white. So I think that is kind of interesting. I would highly recommend these LED lights if you are trying to go for a blackout look or a more premium look on your Jeep. I think the black does look pretty sleek. All right, well, that wraps up this installation of the new LED turn signals and side marker lights. But if you did like this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the Mission Custom YouTube channel, where I'll be posting more installations and reviews. Like always, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I try to explain everything the best I can, but sometimes I miss things here and there. So that's all I have for you all today. We'll see you in the next video.